It is a beautiful day for the beautiful game. Welcome to Capelli Sport Stadium in Rochester. The Rhinos and the Harrisburg City Islanders about to duel in the first leg of the Capelli Sports Hero Cup. That trophy will go to the winner, but that won't be decided until next month. But this first leg will feature a Harrisburg team on a little bit of a roll. Hello again, everybody. Along with Albert Munoz, I'm Dave Lamont, and Harrisburg comes in off a 4-goal win against the Young Reds in Toronto, led by Pedro Ribeiro.
The left-footed Brazilian striker, he's coming in with a lot of confidence. He's the player of the week. He's going to bring a lot of momentum into this game today, hopefully making a difference for his team.
Now on the other side, Rochester, 6 clean sheets on the year, and the man on the net's Tomas Gomez.
Well, Dave, when you have Gomez as a goalkeeper, as the player to watch, he must be something special. He has the confidence in the back line to make sure he helps his team out moving forward in this game.
Take a look at our formations. First off, beginning with Harrisburg. Mentioned they have won 2 in a row. And where does Ribeiro get help in this formation?
Well, definitely a 4-3-3 aggressive mindset tactical lineup here. Ribeiro will be supported with his Obalayibi in the midfield, Dabo. They're always going to be shooting for him. They're going to need it because when you're playing against a team like Rochester, who I've seen several times in the past, they bulk up their midfield. They're going to have a lot of strength in the midfield. As you see here, they have a 4-1-4 lineup with Darius Mattis up top. You're going to look for his speed. And you're going to have Wall Fall and Conrado Forbes linking up like they always do. And they have such strength in the back. So it's going to be a great matchup between these two teams today.
The first leg of the Capelli Sports Hero Cup is about to begin, with Rochester looking to come off of a 0-0 draw with St. Louis on Wednesday. And can Harrisburg make it 3 in a row? We'll find out when we return.
Welcome to the next generation at Ralph Honda,
where we've got plenty of hot summer deals. Lease an Accord LX for only $117 a month.
We invite you to come in and visit our new next generation dealership. Come on, treat yourself to Ralph.
Focus. It's hard to keep. Everybody wants a piece of you. So don't lose it. Take your time. Work hard. Don't give up. And when your moment comes, breathe through and focus.
Call Wonder Windows. Get the news about those high costs, condensating, energy wasting window blues.
Get better windows at better prices. Save $100 on entry doors, $200 on sliding glass doors, and $500 on bay and bow windows. Call now for instant rebates or free triple pane upgrades.
Call Wonder Windows. They'll cure your blues. Stop those high cost, condensating, energy wasting window blues. Yeah.
Multiple concussions actually put people at risk for early dementia. It's kind of like Alzheimer's with a kind of paranoid, angry edge to it. So we've been trying to develop a blood test for concussion so we can say yes or no. You had a concussion, yes or no. Hopefully, early diagnosis equals early treatment and prevention of dementia down the line.
Welcome to the next generation at Ralph Honda,
where we've got plenty of hot summer deals. Lease a Civic LX sedan for $97 a month.
We invite you to come in and visit our new next generation dealership. Come on, treat yourself to Ralph.
Crowd filing in. You'll notice the special camouflage uniforms, so good luck to everybody trying to find their favorite player by number. But the good news is, with the Capelli Sport Hero Cup, these special edition jerseys are going to be auctioned off to the public. As a matter of fact, the auction has already started, and believe it or not, 3 jerseys from the Rochester side have already been sold. Now, as for the Cup goes to the winner of the regular season series by aggregate goals and, of course, by wins. These jerseys, by the way, and the sales are benefiting in Rochester, the Veterans Outreach Center, the Rochester Area Badge of Honor Association, and the Harrisburg Area Wounded Warrior Project. So the jerseys have been auctioned off from today through August 15th. These sides will meet again in 1 month in Harrisburg on August 8th. So it's a fabulous opportunity for you to support worthy causes and also get one of these unique camouflage jerseys for you. But again, some have already been sold. It's amazing. The Rochester fans really stepped up.
What a great cause, Dave. But an exceptional challenge today for anyone who is calling this game. For their numbers, you could barely tell here. We could noticeably Wallfall is probably the only player you can recognize because of his height and his lean body.
Number 17 there, and we take a look at Harrisburg with white numbers and a kind of almost an ocean blue with white in their camo. So it'll be interesting to see. And this is also, by the way, Heroes Night at Capelli Sport Stadium. So an opportunity to support local heroes, military, and first responders in particular in the Rochester area. So a great night for the men and women in uniform this evening.
This is definitely going to hype up the local team. Obviously, Rochester. You see Canardo Forbes here, one of my favorite players so far this season. Hopefully, he'll come and make a difference today with his team. They come energized. They're obviously coming off a winless streak. They've had a couple losses and a tie in the last couple of weeks. So they're extra motivated today, assuming playing at home to make a difference against Harrisburg.
And they're in the playoff picture in the Eastern Conference while Rochester's on the outside looking in. By the way, we talked about goalkeepers. Brandon Miller, certainly very well known in the Rochester area. Miller, former goalkeeper of the year in 2015 when the Rhinos won it all. And Johnny Mendoza, who was on that squad also, is on the Harrisburg side, but I don't believe Johnny's going to be playing tonight. He is scratched, so we won't be seeing him. But Miller, 24 saves, so a couple of sturdy goalkeepers, Gomez and Miller, in the pipes.
We'll also see the challenge that turf fields usually bring for teams that aren't accustomed, but being the home squad, Rochester should be acclimated, and hopefully they make a difference in an impact right in the beginning of the game.
And you're already seeing, if you look to the right of your screens, shadows. So you're going to start to see a battle of dealing with the sunshine, and then as some of the shadows begin to form here at Capelli Sport Stadium, and how it is handled by both sides. Ishmir Pekmik is in charge of this match tonight. And also on the turf, this turf looks to be in pretty good shape. Some of are better than others. This one looks to be pretty solid at Capelli.
Now, Dave, after speaking to Bob Lilly during a conference call this week, he definitely mentioned wanting to be aggressive from the beginning. He wanted to make sure he gets his strikers the ball. He wants his midfielders, obviously, to create assists so they could potentially make an impact right at the beginning and make a difference against Harrisburg.
And they played on Wednesday in a frustrating scoreless draw against St. Louis. So many chances. Bob Lilly just kept mentioning that when we chatted with him. There were just so many opportunities. They outshot them like 20-3. They had 10 corner kicks, but just unable to put the ball on the back of the net. Rochester, a tough defensive side as well, conceding just 15 goals so far this year.
Excellent point. I mean, they definitely have such a structured defense, and they have composure in the midfield. But they're lacking that attacking prowess, and it seems that that's what they're looking for in Madison today. They really want him to come up, show up, maybe get a couple strikes right in the first couple of minutes. But he's going to be the decision maker when it comes to their scoring chances. And
coming out of Canada, Harrisburg had a wild 4-3 victory over the Young Reds, Toronto FC 2. 2-2 at the half, and really the difference in the game was an own goal scored by Toronto against themselves. That really ended up being the big goal of the evening, and a crazed and very exciting match. I mean, you get 7 goals in a game, and you're going to have guaranteed excitement. First foul going to go against Rochester.
Well, let's hope that correlates into tonight's game.
Be interesting to see, because I don't think Rochester, that's the kind of game they want to play.
Yeah, they're not accustomed to that. They're not a high-scoring team. They're more conservative possession, and then maybe get a set piece in by Canardo Forbes, maybe get a goal by Madison. But it's true to what your point is. They're not that high-scoring team.
Good control there for the Rhinos against the City Islanders, but then turned over. Bit of a mistake there. McCloss came up with it. And now trying to get through to Jake Bond, and Bond trying to go to the middle. Nobody there. Look out. That was very dangerous.
Speaking of own goals.
Yes. And we're going to get an early corner kick opportunity here for Harrisburg.
Yeah, Rochester needs to be very, very careful with these set pieces. They're known for this. Harrisburg obviously has Ribeiro, who's pretty tall. He comes in full force as a striker. But hopefully Tomas Gomez comes up top here.
Grosh will take it. It's going to be headed away from off the back line. See the captain's armband going to Canardo Forbes as he gives a little bit of chase, and then a reset back to McClaws.
Speaking of Canardo Forbes, he's definitely the midfield general here for Rochester. I mean, as I've seen him several games now this season, he's only developed his game. He's obviously getting more and more confident every time he touches the ball. I hope he has a good showing tonight. He'll definitely make a difference for his team. 2
goals and 3 assists on the year so far for the Rhinos. Harrisburg has conceded 20 goals on the season. That's about average. As Rochester will try to go from that right side. Good flick ahead. That's going to set up a throw-in for Rochester.
Yeah, those flicks and that flair, that's what Canardo brings to this team, and a lot of leadership as a captain.
Forbes now going at the goal, but that's too far. Nobody there. Looks like he was trying to set up Madison. And that will be a goal kick coming up for Brandon Miller, who's made 24 saves on the year. So the first 4 minutes just been a feeling out process so far. We've had one somewhat dangerous ball that was made only dangerous because it was nearly badly misplayed by the Rhinos. But up to that point, that's all we've had so far.
Yeah, there's no clear possession. Not yet, at least.
No, and just the one whistle on a rather obvious foul. Bond giving chase down that right side, but it's going to be taken away. Oh, that's beautiful looking. Oh, and the run was interrupted. That was excellent defense by Jordan Dover, number 5, picking off what looked to be a great run for the Rhinos.
These are the initial touches that Wall Fall has brought in the last several games. I mean, he's such a presence in the midfielder, number 17 here for Rochester. Every single time he patrols the ball in the midfield, he's clearly setting up a wall pass or some kind of long pass for Madison up top. Hopefully he brings that continuously throughout the game today.
Right now Harrisburg having a little bit better edge in possession, but we're very, very early in this match, as you can see. The weather ideal for playing.
Oh yeah, it looks great. The weather looks amazing there in Rochester.
And we'll go headed back to the Mexican goalkeeper, Tomas Gomez. Only 8 goals conceded so far this season. He has nearly as many shutouts as he does goals allowed. And now a breakaway opportunity here for the Rhinos. Hard tackle in the box. No call from the referee.
Interesting to see. I mean, that looked like Madison could have potentially cut the ball back for his oncoming midfielder here from Rochester, but maybe he waited too long to make a decision. Let's see the replay here.
Let's see if that's even worthy of a foul. Perhaps the referee was right in just letting that one go.
It's a strong tackle. Well done there by Harrisburg.
But now some good touches here, good short, crisp passes here, and purposeful ones for the Rhinos. And that little tackle there is going to allow Harrisburg to reset their defense, get more people back to help. But Rochester now putting pressure on in the 7th minute of this match. And they're going to sneak out with a corner kick. And we'll see very quickly Canardo Forbes setting up for it. Looks like it's going to be very breezy also. You may be able to hear some of that wind in our microphones. You can see the fans' flags as Forbes with an outswinger headed off the back line by the City Islanders. And a whistle away from the ball, and the referee calling a foul against Rochester.
We've seen this typical set piece corner kick play here by Rochester many times. Canardo Forbes always looking for wall fall, always looking for that connect. He actually scored a couple of goals during the season in similar plays in a corner kick. So as we know, every time there's some kind of set piece, Canardo Forbes will come in and he'll take that shot.
Miller, that's not a particularly great kick, kind of sliced it out of bounds. So Camden Feo, number 4, with the throw in and getting a touch all the way around that back line. Tremendous international flair, Albert, in this match. You've got Canada, France, Germany, Jamaica, Ghana, Mexico, Brazil, Nigeria, and of course the United States, all represented in these 2 starting lineups tonight.
Incredible, incredible talent. Especially watching Rochester so many times now. Their flair, obviously their combination play, it's superb. and they're only getting better. I mean, their possession game is their forte. As you can tell, they hold the ball really well. They spread out. They open the field. Everyone gets involved. Everyone gets a touch. But then you have your commander in the midfield, Wallfall and Canardo, make the difference. So, as Bob Lilly mentioned in the week in the conference call, they need that attacking prowess. They need that striker to step up, and it's Madison that they're looking for.
So just to give you an idea of just how breezy it is here, just these different flags. And again, we just talked about the international flair, and there we see flags from all over the world right here in Rochester. So that's very appropriate. The fans here showing that they follow this team closely. So that's going to be a factor. And right now it appears, if we're reading these flags correctly, the wind's at the back of Harrisburg. Although it could be a swirler too, because sometimes when you have a stadium like this, it's got a little bit of a higher deck, it can cause a swirling wind. So we did see the goal kick by Miller go awry to the right. Harrisburg playing it back a little bit. Dabo sending it back, one of our international players. He's from Senegal. But still, even though now we're into the 10th minute of the match, you still get a little bit of feeling out going on here.
Yeah, again, there hasn't been clear possession on either team. I mean, I haven't seen that combination play that Rochester usually brings in the table in the beginning. But Harrisburg is really stepping up, and they're really actually trying to hold the ball and really create that possession and take it away from Rochester. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to command that first half.
Olabii with a rather clear foul, so that will go and Rochester will take possession. 20-mile-an-hour gusts, according to our weather staff.
That's significant in soccer. That'll make an effect.
And I was, kind of was waiting for that flag to come up. Wasn't exactly sure what the holdup was, as two Rochester players had broken clean past the defensive line. So wipe that out, and we will have a goal kick coming up.
Yeah, if not, that would have been the most lasting days of goal I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, keeper.
No effort.
Yeah, I don't think keeper was too terribly worried about that one. I think he knew. City Islanders, by the way, have not beaten the Rhinos since 2013. And the Rhinos, a couple of years ago, champions of this league, and an opportunity here. Madison for the strike. Oh, and a sharp save made by Brandon Miller.
What an excellent chance here by Rochester. Madison really wound up well. I mean, he had his chance. He had the shot with his preferred leg. Great wind up here, and it was a ricochet off play from Canardo Forbes, who unfortunately got fouled there. But what a terrible mistake here by Harrisburg. He created that breakaway for Madison, but what an incredible stop by the goalie by Harrisburg. Exceptional confidence there and poise.
Came out to cut down the angle. Well, you've got a big match in the Eastern Conference that starts in about 45 minutes or so. Charleston and Louisville City. That'll be huge. Charlotte and St. Louis also in the East. Orlando and the Riverhounds. Toronto FC2, Ottawa Fury, big game in Canada. So the Eastern Conference loaded up tonight. This is the first match of the USL slate for this Saturday.
Yeah, great lineups. I mean, exceptional level. Obviously, USL has an incredible talent pool. So all these players are obviously increasing their skills every single week. I mean, you're only getting better and better. And as the season progresses, you're going to see exceptional play by all these teams in the USL.
Miller's got plenty of time. This one he controls. You can see, though, he's either, Albert, I don't know whether it's the way he's kicking it or maybe the wind, but his kicks are definitely pushing to the right.
Yeah, they look like they're curving out, and it definitely has an effect because of the wind. I mean, it will curve your ball out. But yeah, he definitely is trying to hit it to the right most of the time to look for his attackers.
This time he comes out, changes it a little bit, and goes low to try to beat the wind, much as you would try to punch an iron shot in golf and to beat the wind. And it seemed to work this time as Harrisburg trying to put some pressure on, and with Bond, number 16, back to McClaws. And there's another example of how the wind is affecting things. It looked like that ball just sort of died part of the way through there. So I may have misread the wind in the first time I mentioned it, but it's going to be a factor this evening.
Oh yeah, you could just tell in their jerseys. And one of those touches, obviously, when the balls are in the air, they should try to, at most, try to keep it on the ground to make sure that that momentum continues. If not, balls are going to die, like you mentioned, because of the wind factor here.
Harrisburg will take this throw in the 14th minute. Believe it or not, these two teams have not played yet this season, but they'll fix that in the second leg of the Capelli Sports Hero Cup on August 8th. And that will, of course, be at Harrisburg. And again, these are special jerseys these athletes are wearing tonight. And they are available online auctions. I would recommend, if you're a fan, go to the Twitter accounts of these two teams, get the details, and find out how you can bid on these jerseys. 3 have already been sold for Rochester. So the Harrisburg fans being challenged to step up their game a little bit, and I'm sure as when August 8th comes around, there'll be quite a few jerseys sold. The proceeds are benefiting a couple of great causes in those 2 areas. The 100% of the proceeds, by the way, there is the trophy that they are playing for. In the Rochester Area Veterans Outreach Center and the Badge of Honor Association in Rochester. And for Harrisburg, it's the Wounded Warrior Project. So if you bid on one of these jerseys, your money is absolutely going to tremendous causes.
David, now that you mentioned that, it's great to see in soccer. I mean, you have these charity events, and you know, when you're raising funds for a special cause, I mean, obviously the motivation that goes into from these players is just escalated. Knowing that there's a special cause, there's going to help someone in need, that's just going to bring a little bit of extra energy for all these players, especially if they've been playing week after week and they're a little bit exhausted. But it elevates your game just that much.
Fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league by tuning into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 7 o'clock Eastern on Sirius XM-FC. Channel 85, a little pressure here from the side, and that's going to be interrupted by the Harrisburg back line. You also can hear the Sirius XM-FC USL Game of the Week on that Channel 85. So go to uslsoccer.com for dates and times. Ball through here. Keeper comes off the line, and he makes another great save. Another threat from the Rhinos, and it's not over yet. That through ball just a little too hot to handle, and Harrisburg will get the goal kick. So Brandon Miller coming up big again.
Oh yeah, I was just going to mention that. He's the star of the game so far in the first 50 minutes. He's blocked 2 exceptional shots here by Darius Madison. Rochester's creating opportunities, which is very important for Coach Lilly. They're developing well. They're touching the ball in the midfield, but they're actually getting their shots off. So exceptional play from both sides, and what a block by Miller.
Rochester will control. Be very easy. I don't care how difficult the uniform might be to read. I can find Camden Fayo by those shoes. So we'll have no trouble finding the French defender, Bradley Camden Fayo, I should say. And just follow the shoes. Get a look there at Jordan Dover.
Yeah, energetic player. I mean, every time I see him on the wing, he's dangerous. He is a flank player. He contributes both defensively and offensively for Rochester. So very important player and key player for Canardo Forbes to connect with here.
Referee's assistant spotted that infraction, and so Harrisburg will get the ball. And they're going to bring in the goalie to handle this kick. We'll see if he goes low with this one.
I hope Madison gets another opportunity. I mean, he has opened up well. I mean, these passes that he's been receiving, he's connected well on the shot. But unfortunately for him, Miller's on top of the game. Obviously, he's sharp. He's blocking well. So hopefully Madison has more opportunities to show tonight.
Ran out of field that time. You see the way this pitch is constructed. That area there, not a lot of room to work if you're going to be in charge of corner kicks. And that's exactly what's going to happen here with Josh Grosh.
In those situations, we usually had a left-footed kicker come in as opposed to a right-footed, just because he's uncomfortable.
Comes out low on that in-swinger, too. Yeah, that's a good point. He didn't have much of a run-up to it at all.
This could be interesting here. A little breakaway action.
Let's see. Ryan James, number 7. Might have ended up being worked around. Farrell and Felix getting touches. And that's a turnover. Not a great one there. What a lucky, fortunate bounce. And now Rochester may be building up to something here. Trying to create room, pass to the middle, nobody home.
This is where they need to connect better. I mean, they're exhausting themselves coming up well with those touches, and they're just giving up turnovers at the third field here for Harrisburg, and causing these breakaways. So Rochester needs to clean their act up here in the final third.
Boy, Feo with a great play off the ball. It actually bumped McClaws off of it and then kept the ball in play. Although it's going to wind up kind of quieting things down just a little bit here.
I'm not sure if that was a foul. I mean, that seemed pretty clean.
There was no whistle indeed, so just a physical play by the Frenchman.
So again, I mean, possession is there for Rochester. I mean, they're holding well. I think Conardo Forbes needs to step up a little bit. He's been a little quiet. Mr. Wallfall as well. They're usually very present from the beginning. Once they really turn on, you can really tell, and it makes a big difference for their team. Because again, they're the powerhouse. They're obviously the workhorses, the ones that make and dictate every single play. So hopefully they'll change their tune here.
Well, you saw Forbes just a little bit working it back, and it's a conservative approach here in the 20th minute by the Rhinos. You see Ribeiro there, number 30. And the blue and white camo, putting a little forecheck pressure on, but now a counterpunch coming here from Rochester. And double marked was Forbes and just flat pushed. And no call, we play on. Referee's assistant right there, and the referee was looking also, but no whistle.
Speaking about Ribeiro, I mean, he's coming off a great week. You know, player of the week. He's scoring some goals. He's the type of player that needs to come up here for Harrisburg and just really step up. Once his presence is made, he gets the ball. He gets a couple of shots off, which he hasn't even had mostly any touches on. Once he gets a couple of shots off, he brings the team confidence, and obviously it builds from there. But he's definitely got to change his pace now in the first 20 minutes.
So that foul will go against Rochester. We have not had very many whistles from our referee, Izmir Pekmik.
Both teams really loosening up now. I mean, they're both getting on the ball. They both are holding possession. Harrisburg is really keeping up their play. I mean, even if they're playing with a 4-3-3, they have less midfield presence. But it seems like they're actually outplaying Rochester at times. But still, they're lacking that final shot. Hopefully, they'll come up with some kind of solution to really create some more opportunities for themselves.
They haven't really had a shot. They are credited with one shot, although I'll be honest, Albert, I don't remember what it might have been. 2 shots for the Rhinos here, and the City Islanders shot was not on target.
2 shots for Rochester, which could have been
and
2
those
goals.
were on target, yeah,
Absolutely.
That's exactly right. But now Harrisburg trying to counter here. And that whistle will go against Harrisburg. That is appreciated in Rochester at Capelli Sport Stadium.
14.
So we've seen this quite a bit. Rochester has the possession edge so far in this match by about 10%.
Oh, yeah.
And part of it has been just using their back 4 to kind of read what's up there and then go ahead. And they've tended, Albert, I've noticed, to attack on that right side.
Correct. Actually, you've never seen this team play call this game before, right? So you've actually haven't seen their formation, but they always play that route. They use their strengths out wide. I mean, they use flank players like Dover, who has so much speed. Conardo Forbes plays on the right as well. He's a right-footed player. He tends to hang out on the wing. But yeah, they're very patient with their play. I mean, their possession is their strength. So they will use their back line, which are used to holding the ball, and then they'll develop slowly and cautiously. So we'll see more of that throughout the game, it seems.
Now, Fall is their leading goal scorer with 4. Mike Garzi, who's in there, number 13, has a couple. So does Forbes, who also has 3 assists. That's a tough tackle there, and the referee will give an opportunity here as Forbes was taken down by Muhammad.
These are the set pieces that Rochester looks for. Very difficult and dangerous plays here for Rochester on these set pieces by Bernardo Forbes. He will whip them in, and you have anyone from Madison to Wall Fall come in and create a dangerous opportunity. Felix has scored in the past. I mean, players like Beresford, I mean, they're very dangerous in the air.
Forbes waiting for everybody to get in position. Madison has a couple of goals this year. He has to be watched. Number 21.
Felix actually, I believe, scored a free kick just like this off a header in the past.
Coming in low, headed off the line and out. It was actually off the head of a Harrisburg defender.
A ricochet.
And, yep, and then off of a Rochester player in front. I think that was Fall. And no, that's Beresford actually.
Beresford,
yeah, Beresford got a head on it.
You didn't expect it.
No, I don't know. That was just an odd play. Again, going with these lower kicks.
Yeah, very dangerous. I mean, the more it's whipped in, obviously the stronger pace on the ball, more of a direct hit. It could ricochet just like it did, and it could basically hit off anyone.
So in the 25th minute, another opportunity there for Rochester. Meantime, it seems like it's been a while since we've ever talked about Tomas Gomez, the goalkeeper for Rochester, because he has not seen a lot of people around his net lately.
That builds a lot of confidence in the team.
And they'll go all the way back to Brandon Miller, who's come up with a couple of good saves, as Albert mentioned. Albert Munoz, Dave Lamont, reminding you soccer fans that Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. And a Rochester player shaken up after that 50-50 ball in the air, and the referee wisely stops play. Player down for Rochester is Wall Fall, actually. Number 17 on the leg there.
He's one tough player. You rarely see him on the ground. He must have got hit.
Seems to be okay. I may have gotten, again, there was no foul called by the referee, and Fall is up fairly quickly, so I don't even know if they're going to have to take him off the pitch to give him a test, but he's going to take himself out and get himself together a little bit and wait for the referee to wave him back on. So he's over there standing on the far side. You can see by the fourth official, so I imagine he'll be in here very shortly. And Dabo will return it. And I believe everybody's back where they belong.
It's a good professional courtesy there. Return the ball.
Only sport you will see this. I can't think of one that offers it. It's the only one. Yes, it is.
Here we go again with the possession. Holding the ball well, always spreading. They're very patient. I mean, I have to give it to them. They're a patient team, but when they develop and they create, they're exceptional to watch here at Rochester.
A lot of turnover in their own area. Harrisburg. That's a dangerous ball here to McClaus, who's got Bond in front of him. McClaus is going to chip it high. Gomez saw it all the way and snatches it before any trouble happens.
Ribeiro started that play. Great cheeky dribble. Created a nice through ball. We need more of that. You know, Harrisburg definitely needs more of him. He needs to step up. He'll make a difference. I mean, as we know, he's been player of the week, so he constantly will be dangerous up top. But I feel like he's lacking that midfield support. He needs more balls sprayed to him in dangerous situations.
Harrisburg 13th in the standings with a record of 4 wins, 7 defeats, and 4 draws. You'll find Rochester in that top 8. 5 wins, 3 losses, and 6 draws. And you got 1 and 2 going at it pretty shortly in Louisville.
Dangerous clearance there by Miller. Sorry, Dave.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dangerous clearance. He got lucky. Miller off 2 great saves. Got lucky off that ricochet. If not, that could have been dangerous for if Rochester would have had the ball.
Rochester's had the better of the chances so far. They've really had a difficult time even getting a good build-up going, never mind finishing.
They definitely were 2 exceptional opportunities. Madison hopefully gets another chance. That's like he mentioned, because forwards usually when they have 2 strikes just like that and they don't concede, they don't score, it's really rare for them to have a 3rd opportunity. So hopefully it doesn't come back to them.
Take a look there at Jake Bond, who scored twice. He was called for a handball there. Bond putting a little pressure on. Now Ribeiro chasing as well. And they're going to send it all the way back to Gomez.
Gomez has seen some action, but it's from his own team.
Yes.
Been playing the ball back to him.
He has faced much more pressure from them. Feo bumping quite a bit. And now we get the whistle. Ribeiro was doing some of that bumping, and we have a Rochester player shaking just a little bit, grabbing his face.
It seems that Ribeiro swung a little unarmed there when he was trying to swivel on the ball.
Well, the call goes in favor of the City Islanders.
Yeah, he got fouled before.
Just a little too much on that one. Trying to get it to Ribeiro in the middle of the pitch, and good idea, just a little difficult to execute. And back to the patience game that we've talked about already many times in this first half for the Rhinos.
Yeah, you'll usually count 7 to 8 passes before they go forward. That's typical of Rochester's play.
2015 USL champion Rochester Rhinos. So it's a proven formula. Oh, there was an opportunity there for Forbes, and he got pushed down, and that might not have been a bad foul at all by Benbow, the Jamaican, 2 Jamaican players right there. And this is worthy enough to draw shaving cream.
He just clipped him a little bit.
Boy, you know what? That didn't look nearly as bad on replay as I first thought.
Right. Another opportunity for Rochester here. Another great set piece opportunity. They always look for Wall Fall here in the header, and Felix as well.
You see Fall, number 17, tall player. Joseph Farrell, 15, has pushed up as well. This goes a low rocket and wide.
This is Canardo Forbes. He is a very surprising player. I mean, he'll lob a ball, he'll chip a ball, and all of a sudden he'll rip a ball here. I mean, that was a great opportunity. That was a great shot on goal here. Great chance. He was trying to surprise Miller. He's used to the lob, he's used to the chip, and he said, you know what, why not? Let me just try a long shot blast here.
32nd minute, Miller again. Just about to midfield. And a little bit of room to work with now here for the Rhinos. This is, that'll be a throw-in for Rochester. That was 1v2 at that time.
That was a little ambitious here by Madison. But I like how Madison's been showing today. I mean, obviously he needs to keep his confidence up after those 2 shots. Again, I mean, he is the type of player that will create those chances up top. If not him, obviously he needs support from Canardo Forbes. But Madison really is dangerous when these plays come up.
Well, this is a clever little ball back to the center. Boy, that was dangerous, flicked on by Forbes. Beautifully done. Right in front of Miller, but the back line held up that time for Harrisburg. Forbes again. But this time he is marked him rather well. They cannot clear it out. More pressure coming up from the Rhinos. Forbes again, too far.
Good pressure from Rochester though. You'll see here in the replay, obviously, a great little flick as you mentioned, Dave. I mean, this is the type of flair that he brings to the table. Unfortunately, he had Madison. He was very decently defended. Didn't have a chance to actually get a contact on the ball.
I think that was Muhammad on the back line there who was able to clear that. But you're starting to see some flair now out of the Rhinos. Here's a through ball. Madison. Oh, tough tackle in the box. Another tough tackle, and that one is going to draw a whistle and a foul against Rochester, I believe. Now the referee wants everybody out of the way, and it looks like he's going to issue a card to Madison, I would think. He is literally throwing everybody else out. Now the captain, if Forbes, is going to hang out there. Let's see if he goes into the pocket to Madison or just lectures. That was a tough tackle.
Oh yeah, I'd say flagrant. That was heels, studs up. A little aggressive on his end. Let's see what the call is.
Yeah, he's going to book him. And you know what? Madison's not going to complain about it. I think that is the proper call.
Correct.
I don't think you can let a tackle like that go by without a booking.
Absolutely. If we have a replay, I mean, I'll definitely see that in slow. But as you see here coming up, great opportunity by Rochester, though. I mean, start with that. I mean, unfortunately, it was cut off, but his tackle seemed a little flagrant here. Oof. He went for the ball, it was clean, but it was very, very tough. That was very decisive here.
Yeah, that's Nishanian who was knocked down there. He came in full speed from the side. Nishanian a little bit shaky, understandably, by the way, because he didn't see that coming.
Yeah, nobody did.
No, actually, you're right.
If he would have made more contact, that could have been devastating for his leg here.
Yeah, on a turf field that has no give, and that's the downside to turf for the players. It's certainly great for maintenance. It allows for a speedy game, but there is very little give on these surfaces.
Very dangerous. I mean, in my past, I've played in turf, and I'm, for one, not a big fan of it. But as you say, the speed of play is entertaining, maintenance. But I've always been a little cautious on turf fields.
And you don't usually see guys just fling themselves on the ground either, like Madison did. It's not as bad as old AstroTurf from 30, 40 years ago. Nothing's like that, but still. Now, more pressure coming up from Rochester, and you see another slide tackle there off the ball. And that time you could tell that offsides was imminent, and that's why Rochester, as they used to say in roller derby, called off the jam. And they'll start again, however, as the Rhinos putting the pressure back on.
Oh, and they haven't stopped.
Yeah, they're going to get a call here in their favor.
Their possession is obviously increasing by the minute. They've kept the ball. They're on, obviously, Harrisburg's defensive side. They're there. I mean, a goal is about to happen, and they deserve one. I mean, they've created more chances. Harrisburg hasn't had a chance, haven't had even a shot, maybe two, but Rochester's definitely outplaying them so far.
Forbes, a little chip with the right foot, flick header, but no damage there. Well, and now we have a collision, and we have a Harrisburg player shaken up. I did not hear a whistle. And you see Madison involved again with Calvano. And it's going to be a possession anyhow for Harrisburg. Well, Rochester fans have seen this movie before. If they watched Wednesday's game against St. Louis, attack after attack, opportunity after opportunity, but it ended up with neither side finding the back of the net. So a little frustration. Can the Rhinos remain patient to earn that goal that's been a while coming?
Well, as you mentioned on the conference call with Coach Lilly, I mean, this is their overall frustration. I mean, they have great talent. They have all these players that can really compose themselves well. They play together, and they create. But unfortunately, they're lacking that final strike. So how patient can they be? I mean, they're going to continue to do it. They're going to continue to try because they have the manpower to do it. And obviously, Madison is a proven striker. He has scored goals in the past, and they will continue fighting with him. But he needs to be extra careful now. He has a yellow card, and he can't be reckless with his tackles. So if they're going to depend on him, he needs to be extremely smart with his play.
Harrisburg's had an interesting season. They have just the 4 wins, as I mentioned earlier. They started out with 2 wins and a defeat. They lost their opener, then won 2 in a row, then did not win a game from April 15th until June 24th when they surprised Louisville City FC in Harrisburg 1-0. And then they go to Toronto and win again. So they've had losing streaks as long as 4 games, winless streak of 2 months, but the last couple of games they have picked up the 3 points. "39th minute, possession, you saw 60-40, heavily favoring Rochester. And if you've been watching with us, you completely understand how they've done it, but they have not been able to cash in yet. They lose possession there. That will go to the City Islanders. That will not go for, despite the fact that Falk can't believe it, it was the right call to make. The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information. Just go to uslsoccer.com and follow on Twitter @USL. And you also have the opportunity to go to the website and vote on Goal of the Week, Save of the Week. A lot of fun. No, Harrisburg trying to punch through here. And a smart move by Feo just to get rid of it.
You hear the home crowd cheering for Rochester. It's very motivating as a player. It's constant. They're constantly rooting for their team. They're supporting. They're out here on a beautiful Saturday. It's great to see the league growing, and obviously Rochester and its support.
And this is the first leg of the Capelli Sports Hero Cup. Between these two sides, they'll finish it off on the 8th of August in Harrisburg. And the winner will be most wins and or aggregate goals scored. In case there's a draw, each team wins one or draws them both, who knows. And I don't know what happens if you have a tie. We'll let them figure that out.
It's not our job, Dave.
Nope.
Our job is to decide what's going to happen here in the final minutes of this game. Hopefully Rochester, a deserving team, finally come through with a potential goal.
Fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league by tuning into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85, and that's where you'll find the USL Game of the Week, too. Just go to uslsoccer.com for dates and times.
Bernardo Forbes there got stuck on the ball there. He's been present. I mean, he hasn't been as smooth as he usually is with creativity, but his dominance in the midfield is present with wall fall. Again, they're on the ball. Hopefully they continue into the second half.
Forbes leading it once again. He's been the ringleader without question, as Albert identified at the beginning of our match, that he would be a key player for this Rochester side, and he certainly has been. A little bit lazy on that clear. That keeps the pressure on, and there he is again, the Jamaican Forbes. A good mark there, but not all the way out. Forbes trying to center it. And the back line will hold there for the City Islanders. So Mohammed and Nishanan, Calvano, McLaws, the four defenders, along getting some help too. Olabi'i and Dabo been back there, so they've turned to a lot of people, Harrisburg, to keep this match without a goal. Little room to work with though here, and a miscommunication, but not out. Feo, that's complete miscommunication. So in the 42nd minute, we have a goal kick.
Dave, you mentioned earlier how Rochester focuses on playing down the flank. They're always constantly trying to create opportunities. It's interesting to see they have been pretty predictable when it comes to creating opportunities on the right-hand side in this game so far. Harrisburg's really caught on. They have to make sure that obviously they become a little bit more diversified on their field. Maybe try on the flank on the left-hand side with Beresford, Feu, who's very talented, by the way. He's very skillful with his left foot. Hopefully that'll maybe change it up a little bit in the second half, because they have to try something new. I mean, at this point, they've tried through the right flank. They've tried through Madison with a couple of chances. Persistence obviously will be key for them, but maybe it's time for them to change the strategy and try on the left flank a little bit more.
That is Ribeiro, who is down. I did not get a good look at what happened to him, but he's been down for a minute while the trainer tends to him. Don't know if he has an issue with a cramp. Maybe he was kicked. We didn't see anything out of the ordinary, but he's having a little bit of a tough time with that left leg, and actually is going to have to be helped off. Now, this is a significant point in the match for Harrisburg, because Ribeiro, the USL Player of the Week, was devastating in Canada last week in the victory over Toronto. Take a moment to show you the latest. He is the player of the week. You got this beastly battle with the Battery and Louisville City FC, and SLC, despite losing to Tulsa the other day, at top of the West, 5 points clear, 13 wins for the Real Monarchs.
Yeah, this is not concerning for Harrisburg. I don't know what it is, because their top player is obviously limping off the field right before the half.
And it looks like they've straight substituted. They're not going to mess around, as you see. Well, Papa Mensah, number 25, is going to check in. So that is a big loss if Mensah is indeed. Now he is speaking to the fourth officials. It looks like he's going to grab the board and make the change. Wow. The player of the week unable to continue with something wrong with his right leg.
I saw him mentioned there on the bench. It seemed like he tore or maybe strained a muscle. As he mentioned, he made this movement with his hands as if the muscle had been stretched. So unfortunately, hopefully it won't be as severe as we're thinking. But what a time to make a substitute, huh? Right before half.
Well, Mensah, this is just his fourth match of the season. He has no goals or assists or even a shot on goal. So you lose Ribeiro, and now you're going to ask Mensah, number 25, to play a major role for the entire second half and whatever time we have left in this first half. And we're going to get 3 minutes of stoppage time. So how does Harrisburg respond? Bond with a throw in, toward Bond, flicked on, and very smartly they're going to have to concede the corner. Nothing else they could do about that with pressure coming from Mensah. And so now we're going to get an opportunity here, a little bit unexpectedly, for Harrisburg.
And the beauty of soccer is you never know when they're going to pounce. And obviously this is the one opportunity they're going to have right before the half. If they're smart, obviously create a great set piece, get a good cross in. You never know.
McLaws will do it, right footer, outswinger coming up. Good job by the Rochester back line, cleared but not out, chipped back in, headed right back out. A lot of pressure here created by Harrisburg. The referee will call a foul against the City Islanders. And Forbes settles everybody down, including the opponent, before he gets rid of it. So we're going to have about 2.5 minutes remaining in this half, barring any other stoppages. Can Rochester get out of what has become a bit of a slump on the offensive end? Now we have a man down for Harrisburg, but because the advantage is with Rochester, they're being allowed to press it. Shot in. Oh, my, a sparkling save by Brandon Miller. And now they're going to, he points down the pitch. Hey, I'm missing somebody.
Conrado Forbes with a beautiful cross into, I believe it was Madison again, as you've seen the replay. Madison with a left-footed trap, beautifully placed, left-footed shot, very dangerous, and Miller with an exceptional block. What a half by Miller. I'd say player of the match so far.
Certainly for Harrisburg, without question. And he did that with a man down who was on the pitch. Appears to be back up, as we're now going to get a corner kick opportunity here for Rochester. That'll be Forbes, of course. Plays it short, he'll get it back. That sets him up, going far post off the head. Back line held up again, and that's going to be way, way over.
What a frustrating first half must be for Madison. I mean, I feel for him. I've been a striker before in my past, and after you take a couple of good shots and you're blocked by this incredible keeper, all you want to do and focus is on getting a goal in. And 3 opportunities, 3 shots on goal, 3 major blocks by Miller. What an exciting first half here by both these players.
In the meantime, the goalie we spotlighted at the start of the match, Tomas Gomez, has had a pretty quiet half in between the pipes for the Rhinos, as the City Islanders have not been able to put the same kind of pressure on. Here's one more thrust, this time from the left side, and Miller read that all the way.
Interesting to see if Wallfall would have read his goalkeeper taking a step out. Maybe he would have slotted the ball in the first post. That usually happens, and keepers usually don't read that. They expect a cross, but sometimes you surprise them with a first post shot.
Well, that was interesting. Gomez comes way off the line, got out of the box, and ended up having to belt it out of bounds with his head, but that's going to draw the whistle. So first half that for Rochester was frustrating offensively, to say the least. They did not score in their last match and have yet to score in this half. But for Harrisburg, a bigger concern. How serious is the Pedro Ribeiro injury? He is not able to continue this match. Ropa Mensah is being asked to come on and take over for one of the USL's top players, in fact, the player of the week. So both teams have a lot to talk about when they get to their dressing rooms. 0-0. First half is over, the first leg of the Capelli Sports Hero Cup.
Welcome to the next generation at Ralph Honda,
where we've got plenty of hot summer deals. Lease an Accord LX for only $117 a month.
We invite you to come in and visit our new next generation dealership. Come on, treat yourself to Ralph.
When I grow up, I'm gonna redefine pizza. One that will change the history of pizza forever. A pizza with the most cheese and the most pepperoni. This is my dream, and I can do it. Because my mom and dad said I can accomplish anything. And I will do great things in life.
Sorry, kid, it's been done.
But my dream...
Introducing Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest Pizza. A large pizza with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for just $6.
Pizza, pizza.
Call Wonder Windows. Get the news about those high cost, condensating, energy wasting window blues.
Get better windows at better prices. Save $100 on entry doors, $200 on sliding glass doors, and $500 on bay and bow windows. Call now for instant rebates or free triple pane upgrades.
Call Wonder Windows. They'll cure your blues. Stop those high cost, condensating, energy wasting window blues. Yeah.
Multiple concussions actually put people at risk for early dementia. It's kind of like Alzheimer's with a kind of paranoid, angry edge to it. So we've been trying to develop a blood test for concussion so we can say yes or no. You had a concussion, yes or no. Hopefully, early diagnosis equals early treatment and prevention of dementia down the line.
Welcome to the next generation at Ralph Honda,
where we've got plenty of hot summer deals. Lease a Civic LX sedan for $97 a month.
We invite you to come in and visit our new next generation dealership. Come on, treat yourself to Ralph.
So there you get a look, and the right leg iced and bandaged. That's Pedro Ribeiro, taken out of the match in the 43rd minute, unable to continue. Ropa Mensah has come in as a substitute. That is the USL Player of the Week. And he did not even go into the dressing room. He is just out there by himself. That's kind of sad, really. When you see the shots favoring the Rhinos, shots on target, possession, Albert, everything offensively, statistically, favoring Rochester.
Yeah, very frustrating first half here for Rochester. I mean, they've done well. They've done everything they should be doing except scoring. And you got to hand it to Miller from Harrisburg. He's really put on a show as a goalkeeper tonight. Madison has struck 3 great strikes, but unfortunately they haven't been coming to fruition here. But possession is there. They're obviously outplaying them. They're holding the ball. They're keeping, obviously, their patience intact, and they're getting their shots off. So we can't ask for more except for a goal.
And all of that is with Ribeiro in the lineup. Now that he is there with that leg problem and not able to continue, where will Harrisburg manufacture offense?
We built the USL into the largest Division II professional soccer league in the world. And now the time has come to announce USL Division III, America's professional third division league, completing the U.S. pro soccer landscape. It's time for your town, your team, your game. D3 will fuel local pride and local passion, creating a new legacy for the beautiful game and inspiring its tribal following across the country. This is professional soccer, built on a disciplined financial model and operational excellence, featuring exciting venues to thrill fans, in hungry new markets yearning for the game. USL Division III, professional, passionate, proven, Pro soccer starts here, coming in 2019. For more information, visit USLD3.com.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
The 2017 USL season already has been one for the record books, with major new names including Phoenix Rising FC's Didier Drogba and Omar Bravo, and the Tampa Bay Rowdies' Marcel Schaefer adding to the excitement as the league continues to raise the level on and off the field.
United Soccer League, Oklahoma City Energy taking on the Sacramento Republic FC. You make the top play, we will find you. Check out Miguel Gonzalez.
Pittsburgh Riverhounds versus Toronto FC. Victor Sudo drills the rocket upper right corner. This is the only goal in the game. Riverhounds win at 1-0.
San Antonio FC and the Tulsa Roughnecks. 4th minute scoreless game. Chris Turpak in the box falls down, doesn't prevent him from scoring.
This is from USL. FC Cincinnati made some news earlier in the week as they made it to the next round of the U.S. Open Cup. And how about this goal by Andrew Weidman? He does all the heavy lifting. Boom, boom, boom. Smack. Game ends 2-2 against Charleston Battery.
Rowdy's taking on the Richmond Kickers. Oh! Rowdy's cross, header blocked. DeShorn Brown. Look at DeShorn in great position, finishing with the scissor kick.
The thrilling action on the field has been seen by record levels of support in the stands. New facilities like those in Rio Grande Valley and Phoenix have welcomed fans to new, exciting eras for both clubs, while fervent support for clubs like the Richmond Kickers, Tampa Bay Rowdies, San Antonio FC, Louisville City FC, and Sacramento Republic FC has put the league on course for total attendance of more than 2 million this season, a historic high. Sacramento has been at the forefront of the rising competition too, with Republic FC's victory against Real Salt Lake sending the side into the round of 16 in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup for the first time. Ottawa Fury FC's arrival in the USL has been marked by a remarkable victory against Toronto FC in front of a passionate crowd at TD Place in the Canadian Championship, while the second highest crowd in Open Cup history, 32,287 fans, saw FC Cincinnati earn a thrilling penalty shootout victory against the Chicago Fire to advance to the quarterfinals. As the season reaches its halfway point, the USL has never been stronger.
Sit back and relax for now. The second half, the Rhinos and City Islanders is getting very close to beginning on a beautiful evening at Capelli Sport Stadium, this first leg of the Capelli Sport Hero Cup between these two rivals. So let's get you through the highlights of the first half. Didn't get any goals, but that doesn't mean we didn't get opportunities.
Straight from the bat, we had opportunities on both ends. I mean, Harrisburg had probably the closest they had was almost an own goal here by Rochester's defense, but on the opposite end, Madison was on fire from the beginning. He had this great opportunity, he had a great shot, and Miller stepped up obviously right off the bat with these defensive plays, so you're going to see a lot of this activity here in the first half. Bernardo Forbes here created this this movement here, and misplay here by Harrisburg and created another chance for Darius Madison, who came on, and Miller, again, his first stop of the day from Madison shot. And then also you have Bernardo Forbes here creating a lot of activity again. A wall fall connecting, beautifully slotted pass, and Miller again with a save. So 2 saves against Madison. Wall fall again, trying a great opportunity. So Rochester overall, first half, as you see in these plays, confidently created chances.
Gomez here's going to come off the line. Read this all of the way, so that really wasn't that big of a threat, but it's been that way for Tomas Gomez here so far. He has had a defense that's been very steady. Watch Forbes here. I love this little flick. It doesn't pan out because it's a strong defense along the back line there, but the creativity was off the charts.
Entertaining play. Here's your third great opportunity we were just discussing. Darius Madison had time to really swivel his hips, open up his left-footed shot. But Miller again on fire, 3 for 3 on his saves against Madison. Frustrating half for Madison on his shots though.
And that might have been the best of the three of them too. That was outstanding. Corner kicks favoring 3-2 to the Rhinos. Just as we mentioned, everything statistically going Rochester's way except the one thing that they were not able to do on Wednesday night as well. So substitutions for Rochester are going to be interesting to see what Bob Lilly does coming off of a scoreless draw on Wednesday.
Where we've got plenty of hot summer deals. Lease an Accord LX for only $117 a month.
We invite you to come in and visit our new next generation dealership. Come on, treat yourself to Ralph.
Focus. It's hard to keep. Everybody wants a piece of you. So don't lose it. Take your time. Work hard. Don't give up. And when your moment comes, breathe through and focus.
Call Wonder Windows. Get the news about those high cost, condensating, energy wasting window blues.
Get better windows at better prices. Save $100 on entry doors, $200 on sliding glass doors, and $500 on bay and bow windows. Call now for instant rebates or free triple pane upgrades.
Call Wonder Windows. They'll cure your blues. Stop those high cost, condensating, energy wasting window blues. Yeah.
Multiple concussions actually put people at risk for early dementia. It's kind of like Alzheimer's with a kind of paranoid, angry edge to it. So we've been trying to develop a blood test for concussion so we can say yes or no. You had a concussion, yes or no. Hopefully, early diagnosis equals early treatment and prevention of dementia down the line.
Welcome to the next generation at Ralph Honda.
Where we've got plenty of hot summer deals. Lease a Civic LX sedan for $97 a month.
We invite you to come in and visit our new next generation dealership. Come on, treat yourself to Ralph.
Well, that's, if you're a Harrisburg fan tuning in, that's the picture you did not want to see today. Pedro Ribeiro, the great Brazilian, 2 goals, 2 assists on the year, the reigning USL Player of the Week. And he's not finishing this match. Something happened to his right leg, and he has been there since leaving the match near the end of the first half. His place taken by Rapapa Mensah. And let's take a look at the Eastern Conference standings. Everything now for Rochester, and they've only played 14 games, so this is helpful for them because they have games in hand on Red Bulls 2 and FC Cincinnati. And you see Rochester just 3 defeats on the year. Tough defensive side. Harrisburg in 14th position in the Eastern Conference standing, but they are riding a 2-game win streak. Big match tonight, and just now about to begin, Charleston and Louisville City. In the Western Conference standings, man, Real Monarchs, San Antonio's lost just 1 match, but Real Monarchs with 13 wins, 5 points clear. Then Swope Park, Reno 1868, boy are they fun. Sacramento, Seattle, Colorado Switchbacks, Rio Grande Valley, Tulsa Roughnecks going against their rivals from Oklahoma City tonight. That's a critical match too in the Black Gold Cup, Tulsa v. OKC's Energy. Schedule next week, some key matches coming up in the United Soccer League. Orlando City B and Tampa Bay. That ought to be a lot of fun in St. Petersburg. And the Energy taking on that San Antonio side. The Fury and the Rhinos. That'll be a 2 o'clock kickoff. And Red Bulls 2 will be at the Charlotte Independence Saturday at 4. Some notable games next week in the USL. Now we take a look at power rankings for the USL. This is kind of fun. As you know, we have polls in college sports, college football, college basketball. Albert, what do you think of this listing?
Well, you mentioned Real Monarchs, obviously entertaining team to watch. Charleston has a great game today. Obviously, Louisville, I've seen them play. I mean, obviously, this is great. Obviously, this is confidence. Obviously, this is going to be momentum for all these teams to see them points obviously increasing. So it's going to be entertaining to see what the lower tier teams do to get higher up on the actual rankings.
That's through 15 weeks. Still got plenty of time in the season, however, for the United Soccer League. So Can the Monarchs continue that pace? Can the Battery continue that pace? And you can see just by looking at some of the spectators, again, very breezy conditions in Rochester. We had winds at about 20 miles an hour as the players have returned to the pitch. So this is, Albert, this is interesting now from the perspective of the Rhinos. They played Wednesday. Harrisburg did not. And an exhausting 0-0 draw. Now they're 0-0 here. I'm going to be curious to see Lily's substitution pattern in this second half.
It's going to be very strategic. I mean, as you see, the core is still in play. They're going to come in for the second half because they want to continue the momentum. This is a team that likes to play with their confidence in their midfield. So they're not going to be making any changes until they really need to. In the past, they haven't. They've always made changes maybe in the 70th or 80th minute due to exhaustion, or maybe strategic changes because they want another striker. So only time will tell. We'll see how they develop. Obviously, Madison, again, I really hope he gets more chances because he's on fire. He's getting the shots off. And this guy, Miller, I mean, the guy that you've seen on screen, he's on fire as well. So it's a great, entertaining matchup between these two players today. Yeah,
Miller certainly made it exciting, and he's been put in a tough position. And again, it's been Madison and Miller, really. Those are the two guys that have almost had their own little game going on within the game. And by the way, you're looking at these camo uniforms. We'll give you more details about that and how you can help some fantastic organizations in Harrisburg and Rochester. But we'll get into that as the second half develops. A little bit different look tonight for these two sides, but all for a fantastic cause. Great stadium, too, this Capelli Sport Complex. Really ideal for a fan of the beautiful game. I don't think there's a bad seat anywhere in the house. You're close to the action, which I love.
It's a cozy stadium, I must say. And that pitch, beautiful. Very motivating to play on this pitch.
Speedy, as you can tell already from the black tires being kicked up by some of the slides and some of the motion of the players. That's an artificial surface. Flick on here, and an early opportunity. He's offside. The flag comes up.
Well, Rochester really came out on top in the first few minutes here. They're definitely looking to make a difference. Obviously, they want to make their presence felt again. They want to keep their intensity up. Hopefully the midfield that they have will continue creating chances further forward in Darius Madison here.
That time it was Dover who came up. And on that 50-50 ball here, we're going to get a whistle and a collision. And as a Rochester player holding his head. We've seen this happen a couple of times today. And just, I don't see any cut or any blood, so that's good news for Joseph Farrell. Going to get a hand up, and he'll be okay.
Strong presence in the back here for Rochester.
Well, they played very well. When Ribeiro was in the game, they marked him frequently 2 defenders on Ribeiro, so they made it very uncomfortable for him while he was in there. He had to leave the game with a leg injury in the 43rd minute.
What a loss here for Harrisburg. I mean, even though he had a bit of a quiet game, I must say. I mean, we expect a little bit more presence on his side, but he's still so important for this team. He's the type of player that he'll make a difference. He just needs one opportunity to maybe capitalize. So it is a huge loss. I mean, hopefully his replacement will come in and make a difference.
Well, Mensa does not have a lot of playing time this year. There's a turnover and some room to work with here. Ball through, Miller off the line, and another great play made by Brandon Miller. That was an awful turnover by Harrisburg in their own end. And Rochester still trying to break what's turning into a bit of a drought now on the offensive side.
I thought that was Madison, but it was actually Beresford who had that shot on goal. I was going to say that would be the 4th shot and 4th save again against Madison.
And look at that, the sun forcing Gomez to go to a baseball hat.
Yeah, that comes in handy at this time.
Well, you can already, we talked at the top of the show about how shadows were going to start to be a factor in the second half, and you can see for yourselves that we're starting to see light tower shadows and some other things happening here. So this ought to be a real challenge. And Gomez already deciding he's going to take whatever edge he can get.
And my former past experience, that's probably one of the most frustrating settings. It's that sun setting. You see that replay here, that turnover. Oof, they're terrible mistake here by Harrisburg, but they capitalized. Rochester immediately grabbed the ball. Great flick here by Forbes, and it was Madison actually who had the opportunity.
Yeah, but Forbes again, by the way, what a setup man he is.
Oh yeah, that's his forte.
He's Albert Munoz, former MLS star. I'm Dave Lamont, who can spell MLS. And we are looking for a first goal in this game. It is not lack for action. Primarily pushed by Rochester. Had one yellow card that was issued to Darius Madison in the 35th minute. Otherwise, pretty clean game. We've had some incidents by players colliding with each other, but nothing dirty, just run of the game, 50-50 stuff.
Strongest tackle was probably by Madison, who yielded that yellow card in the first half.
And deservedly so.
Yeah.
That was a touch on the reckless side. Now pressure coming here from Harrisburg to the left of the keeper. And good double mark that time, ended that. And they'll go ahead and force the throw in, however, so the pressure stays on. There's Bond putting the heat on. Jake Bond, a couple of goals for this Harrisburg team. Number 16, he bears watching. McLaws. That's Bond there. Flick back to McLaws. Trying to get to the top, but boy, the green jerseys just materialize everywhere. They'll try another tack. Go to the other side this time.
And Rochester typically compresses their midfield.
Chest trap, but not terribly effective one. But they're trying to see if they can squeeze a corner kick out of it. Instead, they're going to have to throw it from a long way. Now, we mentioned those uniforms and the significance of these camo uniforms tonight. Let's see how this develops first before we get too much into the story. But it's an opportunity for you to get involved and help out organizations in Rochester and Harrisburg that are really worthy ones. Right now, Harrisburg putting a little bit of heat on. They were outpossessed by a 3-2 ratio in that first half. So what's happening tonight, well, this is the first of 2 games in the Capelli Sports Hero Cup between these 2 rivals. They'll play again August 8th. And these jerseys are available online in an auction. Now, military personnel and first responders are benefiting in the 2 cities. These Capelli Sport camouflage jerseys are going to be available, and 3 of them have already been sold to Rochester fans. Maybe Gomez is to throw his hat in too if he wants. And from today until August 15th, and that's the BIDR online platform, or I would recommend you go to the club's Twitter accounts and get the details there, and probably a link to where you can make a bid on these jerseys. In Rochester, the Badge of Honor Association and the Rochester Area Veterans Outreach Center will benefit, and in Harrisburg, the Wounded Warrior Project. 100% of your auction proceeds go to those charities. So all these jerseys that you see here are available. You could literally rip one off a guy's back, or figuratively, and take it with you.
Hopefully after the game, Dave.
Ideally. We really don't want to see shirts and skins in soccer. I'm not a fan. It's bad enough at the YMCA, even though these guys are in shape. Threat here from Harrisburg, as they've actually had the run of play the last couple of minutes and putting some pressure, but still not getting shots through on Gomez.
So analyzing Rochester's midfield prowess, I mean, they really compress their midfield, right? They overwhelm you with players, with manpower. So it's Harrisburg's benefit for them to open up the field, have patience, really look for those crosses, or take a penetrating shot from the outside. That's the only way they're going to go through the midfield here from Rochester.
Yeah, I wondered about that. It might not that be an approach, that just missing on the opportunity there, just to go ahead and try to go bombs away a time or two, just to give Gomez something to do. Advantage rule there by the referee, and now when the advantage changes, he makes the call. I mean, you had Grosh outside the box, had an opportunity there and didn't take it. May not have felt comfortable with it. Threat here, however, being by Forbes. Very physical effort by Forbes, and that's going to set up a corner kick as he just absolutely took down.
Very persistent, Canardo.
Yeah, Muhammad there.
Another set piece opportunity for Rochester. We'll see if they capitalize.
And also you get an idea of what the sun is doing to our camera.
it's dangerous for Gomez, if anything, but and also for any attacking player who's coming off the head here.
Outswinger flicked away off the line. Excellent job that time by the Harrisburg defense. That goes almost to midfield, and that's going to force a reset for the Rhinos. They've got the long ball here, but again, getting up. The defense holding well. Good job there by Nishanian. More pressure. Fall. Fell.
Yeah, Wallfall got off balance there. I know he tried to cut back to the outside, but he got caught with the ball there. But a great attempt there by Conrado Forbes on the right-hand side. I mean, he stayed wide open. He got the ball back. Looked for a penetrating pass for Wall, but unfortunately got cut short there.
Flag was up on that attempt, but Harrisburg undaunted, coming at it again. Grosh had some room, and he lays it off. Back to Grosh. Well, every time you turn and you think you have a place to maybe squeeze off a shot, there is a green camo uniform that tells you otherwise.
Well, that's the advantage of playing a 4-1 strategy. They're very defensive. They're going to clutter the midfield. You're never going to have an open space with Rochester in their third.
They've only ceded 15 goals this season. Harrisburg has given up 20.
But on the flip side, you give up that attacking strength. So you need players like Madison to really be on their game every game so they can make a difference. If not, they're going to be defensive, but then one day they're not going to be able to score. So it's very, very risky to play that way as well.
Well, that's kind of what's happening right now. Wednesday did not manage a goal. Had one goal against Charlotte and shut out by Rochester June 23rd. So just one goal in the last 3 games for this Rochester side. And both teams now turning the ball over repeatedly in midfield.
That's a coach's frustration, I'm sure, for both ends. They need to be careful, and they need to obviously reserve their energy. They want to maintain the ball, and obviously Rochester's really good at that. So every time you get a chance to have the ball against Rochester, just make sure you want to keep it.
And Farrell looks it around. If you're just joining us, this first half saw many chances for Rochester. The second half, not nearly as many in the early going. Only the one caution, that was to Madison in the 35th minute. And a significant injury for Harrisburg, losing Pedro Ribeiro with a leg injury in the 45th minute officially. So Rapapa Mensah, number 25, has come on. You see him there in the middle of the field. And now chip down long. All of a sudden a long ball. I don't know where Dover with an opportunity there. Trying to fight for the corner kick. They're going to get the throw in, and it's going to favor the City Islanders instead. And Forbes was ready just in case the linesman saw it in the way for Rochester, but instead it belonged to Harrisburg.
That would have been dangerous for Harrisburg if Forbes would have had the call. He would have had a nice flick there, throw in right into his colleague, teammate, and that potentially would have been a shot on goal.
Yeah, Madison had made it down there very quickly. You get a good look there at Abbas Muhammad from Ghana. Recently gave the U.S. all they could handle. A friendly.
It's our enemy, our foe. How many World Cups now? 2 World Cups against Ghana, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how friendly that match really was if you're an American.
It's never.
Now an interception and an opportunity down the left side for Rochester. Interrupted by some sturdy defense for Harrisburg. That was like running into a door that didn't open. So Harrisburg showing that they too can. Oh, look at this, is a big, nearly another huge turnover. But Miller read what was happening and was able to get there before Rochester did. A couple of times now down is a Rochester player. We're going to get a whistle here.
Open play here in the first 12-13 minutes of the second half. It's still one-sided. Rochester's still the commanding team. They're dominating. But again, we go back to it, Dave. They're not creating clear chances. I mean, they struggle to really create these crosses or even set pieces. They're looking for any chance they have with set pieces, but they can't just depend on that. Darius Madison, exceptional player. He needs to be more present. He needs to be up top. He needs to make more runs for his midfielders. That's the only way Rochester's going to probably going to have a clear opportunity to score today.
Coming low and direct line, the goalkeeper Miller. And he'll go for the pass this time and try to ignite things on the offensive end. There is Mensah, who came in for Ribeiro. And we see that he definitely has some quickness.
Oh, he's definitely a dangerous player. I mean, he comes off with a lot of energy. Obviously, he has a couple minutes only into the game. So he'll, I believe, make a difference for Harrisburg up top.
Ball stays into play. Mohammed being marked by Forbes unsuccessfully, and Forbes is going to argue this one. He's captain, and he gets a little more leeway than an average player. He is not very happy with Izmir Peknik, our referee.
I do agree with Conrado Forbes. I mean, that was a clean tackle. He got the ball first, and he stole it away cleanly. He just collided with him after, but those are always tricky calls. They're a bit frustrating here for players.
So we're going to go ahead and we're calling this the save of the match already. Watch Miller here. That's our Key Bank save of the match.
Sun in his eyes, a one-handed flick.
Now, corner kick coming up, and an opportunity now for Harrisburg to do something dangerous. They'll ask Grosh to take it. Right-footed, chance to in-swing this, and he'll go short. That brings out the Rochester defense. Now chipped into the box and headed over the top.
I must say, good attempt by Harrisburg. I mean, that's probably the clearest opportunity they've had. Nice cross, the left foot, trying to connect with someone in the head. Actually get Gomez player to watch to work today.
Well, we've been watching him do things like this. He has not had to work terribly hard, which I know he's happy about. Gone with the stylish ball cap in this half to deal with that sun. Oh, man, that had to sting a little bit. Soccer ball right to the cabeza. Well, Bob Lilly told us, the head coach for Rochester, that we've done a lot of things right. One of the things we don't do is that last third, the final third, and that's still been a problem for Rochester today. Now, Miller has made some special saves without question, but still.
Yeah, today has a lot to do with that because they've had 4 clear chances, Rochester, they've created from their play. So
trying to get that before it goes over the back line. And we're going to get a substitution, it appears, for Rochester. And if I read this right, Madison will be exiting the game. And we're going to see Johan Graf out of Sweden is expected to be coming in here.
I'd say it's a pretty predictable change here by Rochester. I mean, Madison had an exceptional night. I mean, he's had opportunities. He's struck really well. Couldn't capitalize. I mean, that's obviously not entirely his fault. He's had a great goalkeeper stop him. But they're going to give him a rest. They're going to give Graf coming in a better chance. They're going to give him some time. They're not going to limit his time to 10 minutes. He'll have obviously plenty of time to make a difference in the second half, which is I favor and I agree with this type of change.
So Johan Graf will come on. And he is an offensive-minded player. Here comes a corner kick, hot. And Harrisburg handles it one more time. Graf is actually a native of Texas. He has spent the last 3 seasons in Sweden and does have a couple of goals in 11 games. That whistle going against Rochester, so Harrisburg setting up very quickly. Forbes slowing them down, or trying to, before anything developed fast for Harrisburg, and they'll go backwards instead. Good crowd on hand here at Capelli Sport Stadium. And that will go in favor of Rochester on the throw-in. Possession still favoring the Rhinos, about 58 to 42%. Shots 6-2. No shots on target yet for the City Islanders. And Harrisburg will get the throw. And Muhammad was limping a little bit before, and now that little shove. So whatever's wrong with that right foot from Muhammad, maybe an ankle. He's looking for some sympathy from the referee's assistant and isn't really getting any.
He's not, because look at his presence. Look how strong and tall he is. He's a very physical player here, Muhammad. He'll be fine.
That was nearly dangerous play there. Middle of the field open, interception. Here's Forbes with an opportunity. Forbes will fire, and he'll miss. That's one of those little mistakes that Harrisburg has made repeatedly. Forbes had an opportunity, cranked it up just a little too much.
Close to capitalizing there. Conrado Forbes obviously working really hard this whole entire game, always looking for chances, and he is the type of player that will make a difference. He made one quick swivel to the right, obviously off target, but very dangerous play here by Conrado Forbes.
Harrisburg has got to button that down from their perspective. That's about 3 times, Albert, that I can think of, maybe more, where they have gotten very sloppy and allowed Rochester a path to the goal. Harrisburg countering back, now Mensah. And this will be nothing for Gomez. He'll handle that very, very easily.
All right, Rhino fans, your attention, please. Time to dig into those pockets and pull out those 50-50 raffle tickets.
Rochester, number 7 in the Eastern Conference, 14th for Harrisburg. 13th, pardon me. Richmond is 14th. But Harrisburg has picked up 6 points in their last 2 games. We saw just a little bit of a jersey pull that time. But that call is going to go in favor of Rochester. I think it's going to go all the way back up where there was a collision, and the referee took a long time to blow the whistle on that. Groff taken down. Cleanly tackled, however, and Harrisburg will move on, or try to. That's an aggressive tackle by Bond. Will not draw an admonition from the referee, but will give Rochester the ball.
See if Rochester gets a chance again to capitalize on a great attacking play here.
Well, they were trying to work it in. Now an opportunity here. A lot of traffic in front of that goal. Groff was threatening as well. And to the unhappiness of the Rochester faithful, a goal kick is called.
As you mentioned before, Dave, Harrisburg has made a couple mistakes in the back, but all in all, they are very good collectively defensively. I mean, they obviously know how to shut down the attackers on the Rochester side. I mean, if they give them some space, they know very well they'll capitalize. But overall, throughout the game, even though they've had a couple shots on them, they have known how to shut down the attackers in important plays. So collectively speaking, they've done a pretty good job to hold Rochester at a tie so far.
That's going to be turned over that time as a little bit of fancy footwork for Benbow. It was too fancy. How do you avoid as a player, Albert, when it's been a while since your side has scored, or you haven't scored very much in games lately, which is Rochester's issue? How do you avoid making mistakes, mental errors, losing your focus, and just trying to keep the patience that you have to have?
I'd say persistence. I mean, obviously, a coach's role is very important. I mean, throughout the week, you're continuously going to be ingrained that you have to continue trying. You're going to obviously strategize and see what's the best way to maybe, correct this problem. But overall, I think it's just instilling confidence in your players, instilling, reminders. Look, you guys know how to score. You guys know how to play. You guys know how to do this. You've done it in the past. just go ahead and do it again. Just try. Obviously, all you could do is continuously shoot on goal and then, play your game. So a mental game is what comes in. Obviously, mentally speaking, you have to make sure that you propel your players to do better game after game. So I'd say it's a coach's role along with your captain's role.
Benbow was taken down. We had a whistle there. He's back up very quickly. And Harrisburg doesn't need to see any more players on the pitch. They've already lost Ribeiro for this game with a leg injury. And we're going to get the ball sent back. Gomez will chase it down. There's Ribeiro right there. Unable to finish. We did not see what happened to him. It was not on the ball. And there was no foul call. In other words, nobody took him down or anything like that. It just happened. Hard to say what it is. He had below the knee ice bag on his leg at halftime.
I'm going to conclude that he strained his calf muscle.
Dr. Munoz, thank you.
Just from experience, believe me.
Well, yeah, you played it, and it's really weird. I've been a sportscaster for a long time, and you almost feel like an amateur doctor at times because you see certain injuries, you go, "Oh, I know what that is."
Right.
And a lot of times you're right.
You just basically brought it down. You narrowed it down to, hey, no one hit him. He probably stepped wrong. He pulled his calf, and he has ice on his calf. So let's conclude, he probably strained his calf muscle. Hopefully it won't be as severe. Hopefully he didn't pull it. Maybe it's just a strain. Maybe it's obviously exhaustion. I mean, he's tired. Obviously, he's had a long season so far. He's been put a lot of pressure. He had a great week. I mean, a lot of variables could come into play when it comes to pulling your muscles.
Well, the City Islanders play Wednesday versus Red Bulls 2 in Harrisburg. So will he be fit enough to go there? Now, this is an opportunity here. Watch for Forbes. He is good at these. Goes right-footed. Comes in low, headed out.
What I do like about Ribeiro is that he stayed put throughout the whole halftime, and he stayed on his bench now in the second half, supporting his team instead of going to the locker room. I find that very important as a role player to make sure that you're supportive of your team no matter what, and especially if you can't complete a game due to injury.
Rochester just continuing to breathe down the backs of Harrisburg, but they cannot crack the net. That's a great play made there to keep possession. And now, as soon as it was obvious the advantage was lost, that's going to be a foul against Harrisburg. Forbes taken down, he's going to be fine.
The Jamaican magician.
So each side has made one substitution so far. Harrisburg forced to make their substitution in the 45th minute. They have not used their second half subs. Dover. Dover through again. Played in front. Groff had an opportunity coming in, and he couldn't quite get enough on it. And now a counterattack possibly here with Mensah. And he lost it. But
go ahead, Dave.
No, I was going to say, very quickly, Rochester was back there.
Oh, yeah. I really thought that was going to be the play, that Rochester was going to capitalize with the goal. But great stop here by Miller again. Great presence in the back as a goalkeeper. Exceptional play.
Mensah, though, he's picked it up in replacing Ribeiro in the last few minutes. There's a strike, and it's wide. Gomez had it covered. But Harrisburg coming back on the counterattack. Groff had a beautiful opportunity. Just could not quite flick it past. So we'll get some substitutions coming up here momentarily for Rochester. Meantime, a dangerous corner kick opportunity here. Strike from in traffic, and Gomez, that was deflected, and Gomez held his line very, very nicely, kept his patience. But to be very honest, that's about the toughest thing he's had to do today. I mean, he's had a pretty easy day. Now a strike, Beresford. Sweet little move there. Trying one more.
Wow.
Oh, he's going to get the call.
I was just going to mention that he might have tripped himself. Oh, wow.
I honestly thought that too. My gut reaction is I need to see this replay. I think we all do, to see if that is legit. Now Bond As a player, really upset about this.
I'd be incredibly frustrated as well.
All right, let's see.
Great cut, but he literally fell by himself.
Yeah, that's his. Now, that's not a penalty kick. That is just ruled outside the box. So that's the one. Let me make sure of that, though, as we can. Yeah, there you see. Yeah, referee didn't get that one, but that happens sometimes, and Harrisburg's going to have to live with it. You see some substitutions coming in.
All has to do with the speed of play and obviously the angle of the referee. So he was probably back to Bond, and he didn't see, obviously, that he tripped on himself. And you know what, Beresford, he played it. He rolled with the punches, and he yielded a nice free kick there.
So Garzi will come out. And Sofian Turgu and Beresford will come out. And in the 75th minute, Stefan DeFrager. So you've got all of the substitutions now being used by Rochester.
And all midfielders and attackers. So strategic, looking for a goal.
Laying it off here. The set piece is bombed too high. And disappointment there for Rochester. They had a great opportunity just outside the box and ended up blasting a shot well over.
Yeah, they could have done better with that. But either way, I mean, it was still an opportunity, still good chances. Pressuring Miller here, and obviously he's doing an exceptional job of keeping a draw here for Harrisburg.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the United Soccer League, and for more information, just visit NikeSoccer.com.
Analyzing these substitutes, we know very well that Rochester is such a deep team that any change they make, obviously they're going to make any tactical changes. Their strategy is going to be the same, and all these players really know how to acclimate to their changes. So that's really favorable for Rochester here in these subs in the last 15 minutes or so.
Meantime, Harrisburg's got a sweet little chance here.
Yes, you really take advantage of Gomez's sun in his eyes, even though he's wearing a cap. It's trendy, but it's not going to stop him from potentially getting tricked here by the sun. Better yet, distracted by the sun.
And you get an idea of that sun and how bright it is. Struck. Gomez had zero trouble. He could have seen that with a ball cap on. He could have seen it on if he was wearing a ski mask over his face.
Could have trapped that with his chest.
Yeah, that was really nothing to it from Olabi'i. And so we remain 0-0. We're going to see Harrisburg go to their bench here momentarily. But right now, Rochester attacking one more time. A low strike is rejected. And Harrisburg will live another day. Can they clear it? Maybe can they even counter? And they're going to get the throw in. So it looks like we're going to see Mike Ola, who has scored a couple of goals in just 7 appearances this year. He's going to come on. And that's an offensive-minded substitution for Bill Betcher, head coach for Harrisburg.
He definitely need it.
And Benbow will come out.
At this point, Harrisburg needs obviously to try to change their strategy by going very aggressive up top. They need to. I mean, obviously remaining 13 minutes or so, you need to, give it your all.
Throw in now for Harrisburg. They'll try to keep it going and maintain some pressure. It's been difficult to do with this very good Rochester defense. You've got a goalkeeper too, Gomez, with 6 clean sheets. And he's about 13, 14 minutes away from a 7th. Ball is trapped between the two players. Mensah fighting for it and cannot get clear. That was Farrell who was fighting with Mensah, and the ball actually got stuck between the two of them for a couple of blinks of an eye.
What a scramble.
Well, Farrell stood tall.
You mentioned the clean sheets and you mentioned the defensive strength, but what a frustrating night here so far for Rochester. I mean, they've tried and they've had so many opportunities to really get capitalize on a goal. But again, for Coach Bob Lilly, as you mentioned this week, they're going to continuously try to improve on their attacking, proudness. They need to make their changes. Obviously, they haven't been able to capitalize with Darius Madison, who had opportunities, but overall, they've been overplaying and really giving opportunities for other attackers, but they haven't conceded.
Well, I should say on Wednesday, wait a minute now, opportunity here coming off the line. Miller too quick because Groff was threatening again. In that 0-0 draw Wednesday, 16-3 over St. Louis FC in shots and 10-0 in corners.
Wow.
And yet they did not score. So they don't quite have that much of an edge tonight, but they still have an edge everywhere except where it matters most. And they, for the most part, I think it's fair to say they've had the run of play.
Oh, yeah.
But that whistle and foul, and Forbes will argue for a moment, but he got the call.
He wants yellow.
Yeah, wasn't ready of it. Now you see part of the problem there. There you see the right leg still encased in ice for Ribeiro. He didn't get the memo about elevation, though. Very important.
He had it for a bit in halftime. He had his leg up, but no, yeah, absolutely. That should help draw the blood down from the foot and reduce swelling.
Well, there was an opportunity there interrupted. Harrisburg, they had something going on that right side, but it was stopped. 81st minute of a match that has not seen quite the danger from Rochester as they had in the first half. Miller has not been called on to make too many difficult efforts in this half. But we still have time. And blocked there by the back line. Forbes again.
That's the danger of Rochester. They're very unpredictable. I mean, they can have a set piece or a player like Wallflower, Conrado Forbes come out with some kind of creativity in any given moment.
Thrust toward the box, and with Groff right there, Miller had a good eye on that all the way.
Miller shows his confidence every time he grabs that ball. Very important for Harrisburg.
Well, the Rochester fans remember him. He was their goalie in the championship season of a couple of years ago. So both these back liners are proven stars in this game. And that's the long ball to nowhere, and will lead to a goal kick coming up.
Crucial moments, crucial minutes here for both teams. I mean, last minute attempts. Obviously, Rochester, if they have another shot on goal against Miller, who has been on tonight. I mean, hopefully we have some more action here for the fans. So we'll see what happens in the last few minutes of this game.
Correct that. That is obviously a throw-in, not a goal kick. And very interesting move made there. Just to sort of interrupt the throw with your hands. So there's a whistle beforehand, however, so we're going to get a rethrow here from Muhammad. Rochester goes to Ottawa next week for their upcoming match. Groff, little flick through, nobody there. Forbes not going to get there in time. Now we will get that goal kick. We mentioned this is the first of two games in the Capelli Sports Hero Cup that will conclude on August the 8th. I'll also remind you, you can stay update on the latest USL news and information from around the league. You tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 7 Eastern on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. That's where you'll also find the USL Game of the Week. Go to USL Soccer for dates and times. Now a little pressure here from Bond on the throw-in. Oh, Muhammad laid it off sloppily. Forbes seems to be everywhere. Switches now, Groff collides. Let's see how this call goes. Goes in favor of Harrisburg. And the City Islanders don't waste any time trying to advance forward. Mensah. we're going to see one more substitution coming up for the City Islanders, and that will be Paul Wilson will be coming in, and I think Rosh is going to be checking out.
You mentioned how Canaro Forbes is all over the place. I mean, he is such a workhorse. I mean, along with his talent, it's undeniable that he's the heart of this team. He needs more support up top to potentially, you know, allow his creativity come into fruition into a goal. But he is definitely the ever-present, most important player here for Rochester.
Dangerous ball here, and there's the back of the net. Groff scores on a beautiful feed. 1-0 Rochester.
Just like we mentioned, the attacker who came in, who replaced Madison, which is Mr. Graff, made the difference. He had plenty of time. He found himself in a great opportunity, and this gentleman here, Miller, had no chance to stop this ball.
It took a while for Rochester to finally find the back of the net, but what an absolutely gorgeous goal scored by Johan Graff.
A lot of patience here, and you see in the replay, great development play here, an exceptional cross, and well hit, perfectly struck here by Graff. What experience, what composure, beautifully struck right in the corner of Miller. He could not stand a chance here.
Our Excellus fearless moment of the match. Joseph Farrell should get an assist for this pass.
What a treat for the crowd here, from home crowd here from Rochester. Patience pays off, I guess.
That is Graff's third goal of the season, and Farrell picks up the assist, or he should. And now Rochester can do what they do best, lead from the front, where they are very difficult to score on.
Correct. You have to hold well now in the last 5 minutes or so, including stoppage time. Play smart, intelligent, reduce any chance of yellow cards, any injuries, and hold on to that lead. They've worked for it.
Paul Wilson has come on, number 10. Grosh has checked out. So all substitutions have been utilized. Rochester substituted aggressively.
It definitely paid off.
And by that I mean putting offensive-minded players like that guy right there, Groff, onto the pitch. And he may not be finished as he is dragged down, looking for a call that he's not going to get.
Well, he came in and he did his job. I do feel a bit sad for Madison, who put a lot of effort in the first and second half while he had time and he had chances. But that's how it is in soccer. You have the opportunity, you have to capitalize. If not, obviously, you're going to have to look for other sources. And this is what happened with Graff. He came in, he had the chance, he put it away. And this is great depth that they have, because they obviously can alternate those players in any given moment, in any game, and it won't change the style of play for Rochester.
Well, if Rochester can hang on, this is going to help their playoff bid. And we still have a long way to go, yes, but 3 points right now in the palm of their hand. Mensah just couldn't, and took a little bit too long, and now the call is going to go in favor of Rochester. That chest trap just could not turn around and do anything with it.
Rhino fans, don't forget we will be announcing the KeyBank Save of the Match.
The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. You can stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com. And make sure you follow on Twitter like we do at USL. Groff again. And it's kicked between his legs. He's perfectly content with that. That's going to be a throw in. And time to take an opportunity to take a little time off the clock. Stoppage time probably going to be in the 2 to 3 minute range here.
This is when it's advantageous to be smart. Obviously, hold the ball, keep possession, kill some time. This is what their goal is. Obviously, they're always going to try to keep scoring goals, but ultimately the important thing is to keep the ball in their side, obviously, and keep shooting.
And one more opportunity just to mention to you fans that these special camo jerseys that you're seeing for these two teams tonight are available to be auctioned off. Some have been sold already. The auction continues through August 15th and benefit first responders and veterans in both Rochester and Harrisburg. So please consider a gift for yourself or for a friend, family member, you can get these jerseys. And again, I recommend going to the side's Twitter accounts and find how you can donate. 89th minute. Can Rochester hang on to pick up 3 points and make a move up the standings?
Fans, as a reminder, the clock will stop at the 90-minute mark. Stoppage time to
Long ball here, and Bond has been dangerous for Harrisburg. He bears watching, but Rochester's done a good job in making it relatively easy for Thomas Gomez. Only 2 shots on target by the City Islanders tonight. Just 5 shots, 9 shots for the Rhinos, 4 of those on target. And we are told 3 minutes of stoppage time coming up. In fact, if you're a Rochester player, if you're not actually hurt, you've got to get up. As Feo is lingering there, then has to realize that you don't need to add to the stoppage time. Look out there. That was a test of the goalkeeper's reflexes.
A little miscommunication there. A little dangerous. Miller's very, very reactive.
Well, I like what Groff has done there. He basically took the kick away from Miller and forced him to go slow and low. Whistle here, and it'll favor the Rhinos.
Rhino fans, be sure to check out RockSportsNetwork.com to see a replay of tonight's match and all Rhino home games. Away matches too.
So about 2 minutes remaining in this one. If it holds, Rochester will pick up a 6th win to go with 6 draws and 3 defeats. And Harrisburg will fall to 4 wins, 8 defeats, and 4 draws. Rochester will go to Ottawa next week. And a Wednesday night midweek matchup for Harrisburg in Pennsylvania against New York Red Bulls 2. Rochester trying to hang on. Gomez not going to wait around. He's just going to get rid of it.
Oh, they're definitely hanging on to a deserving potential win here the last few minutes. Got to give it to them. They've created, they've hustled, they've obviously played as a team.
Careful here. Bond was lingering, and this is going to be an opportunity for Harrisburg with a corner kick in the 92nd minute. Bond will short corner it.
Yeah, this is what you want to avoid. Oh, and this
Now
potential
you
fouls.
want to avoid that, or do you?
Yeah, of course you want to avoid that.
Sometimes it's not a bad idea to let somebody have it every once in a while, but maybe not there. So Muhammad took a fall, and he was hit. So now Gomez is going to have to line up his defense one more time. And who does Harrisburg turn to attempt an important kick? That's Turgu, number 10, who had the ball. So this might be the last chance for Harrisburg. It will be Turgu. He could in-swing this. He'll go to the far post, headed in the air, and headed out of bounds.
A decent attempt in the last minute. I mean, that's all he could really do, right?
I thought he might just crank it up at the goal.
Yeah.
I thought he had that opportunity. You know, you have an excellent goalkeeper who certainly had to be thinking that himself.
To have a lot of confidence for that type of shot. If you're a set piece specialist, that's probably your game. But if you're not, if you're just used to crossing the ball, then it's probably not in your mind.
And that's a smart kick. Miller going to come way out to put his head on the ball and try to force one more thrust if he can for Harrisburg. And a little contact after the offsides. Players dap and everything's fine. Could get that final whistle any second. There it is, and Rochester is going to take this one and take the 3 points on the goal by Johan Groff on a beautiful assist from Joseph Farrell. And a hard-earned victory for Rochester. You had to wonder, Albert, if they were ever going to score a goal again, but they earned this one.
Oh, absolutely. Exceptional play here, attacking-minded, very patient, but finally they scored a goal, which is what probably wanted and he enforced in his conference call. Exceptional play by all their players. Great night by Rochester.
For Albert Munoz, I'm Dave Lamont. Thank you for watching the first leg of the Capelli Sports Hero Cup. 3 points going to Rochester. 1-0 over Harrisburg City Islanders.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.
Welcome to the next generation at Ralph Honda,
where we've got plenty of hot summer deals. Lease an Accord LX for only $117 a month.
We invite you to come in and visit our new next generation dealership. Come on, treat yourself to Ralph.
When I grow up, I'm gonna redefine pizza. One that will change the history of pizza forever. A pizza with the most cheese and the most pepperoni. This is my dream, and I can do it. Because my mom and dad said I can accomplish anything. And I will do great things in life.
Sorry, kid, it's been done.
But my dream...
Introducing Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest Pizza. A large pizza with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for just $6.
Pizza, pizza. Call Wonder Windows. Get the news about those high cost, condensating, energy wasting window blues.
Get better windows at better prices. Save $100 on entry doors, $200 on sliding glass doors, and $500 on bay and bow windows. Call now for instant rebates or free triple pane upgrades.
Call Wonder Windows. They'll cure your blues. Stop those high cost, condensating, energy wasting window blues. Yeah.
Welcome to the next generation at Ralph Honda,
where we've got plenty of hot summer deals. Lease a Civic Alex sedan for $97 a month.
We invite you to come in and visit our new next generation dealership. Come on, treat yourself to Ralph.